Hey friends, welcome back to the kitchen. If you're new here, I'm glad you're here. My name is Brittney, and today in the kitchen we're cooking one of my comfort meals, smothered steak. This dish is tender, it's flavorful, it's old-fashioned in the best way, and honestly, it tastes like a warm hug on a plate. If you've been craving a hearty dinner that will have your whole house smelling amazing, this recipe is it. For the smothered steak, I'm using the cube steak that I got from Sam's. You can get cube steak, round steak, chuck steak. If you are getting the round steak or chuck steak, just make sure that you use a mallet and tenderize it. I'm adding some oil to the pan, and then I'm going to get that heated up on high heat, and then I'm adding a little bit of gluten-free flour to the meat, and I'm just going to lightly dust all the pieces of the cube steak. So I've got this oil heating up, and then as I put the cubed steak into the oil, I'm just lightly breading that cubed steak with the gluten-free flour. And then just place that cube steak into the oil, and we're gonna cook this for a couple of minutes on each side. I'm just getting kind of browned, seared. I'm not cooking this all the way through. We're just getting it a little bit cooked on the outside before we're adding it to the Pyrex with all the other vegetables. So it's been cooking for a couple of minutes on this side, so I'm just going to take a fork and flip them over and cook them another couple of minutes on the next side. I have a large Pyrex, and I'm going to add the meat in a single layer into the Pyrex, and then I'm going to finish up browning the rest of the cube steak. So just continue repeating the process, adding in the cube steak. We're going to cook it for a couple of minutes on this side, and then I'll turn it over. Okay, let's go ahead and flip these over, and we're going to continue to sear these for another couple of minutes. And these are now ready to go into the Pyrex, again putting them in a single layer. And then as you could see, they're not cooked all the way well done. We're not trying to get them well done yet. We're just searing them to get them browned. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in the rest of the vegetables. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And for the vegetables that I'm adding, I have 2 green bell peppers, 1 red bell pepper, 2 Roma tomatoes, 1 white onion, and then I have a container of mushrooms. I'm going to go ahead and get these sliced up. I have washed up the bell peppers and tomato, and we're going to slice these up into long strips. Got the bell peppers and onions sliced up. I'm going to use the same exact pan that I was using for when I was browning the meat. I don't need to get out a new pan. It's all going into the same Pyrex. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil, olive oil to this. The vegetable oil has already all cooked off, and I just like to add a little bit of olive oil to cook up the vegetables. I'm going to put the onions and bell peppers into the pan. We're going to brown these up. And then just cook these until they have a light golden brown to them. And while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and wash up the mushrooms and get those ready and cut those up. And then we're going to put that into the same pan that we have the bell peppers and onions when those are done cooking. And after they're washed up, I'm just going to slice up the mushrooms. And I'm going to check on the bell peppers and onions, and they're getting close to getting done. The bell peppers and onions are done, so I'm just going to take the pan and toss the bell peppers and onions right on top of the cubed steak. And then right in that same pan, I'm going to put in the mushrooms. I'm just going to sear these for a couple of minutes. And then after a couple of minutes, just throw this right on top in the Pyrex with the meat and the bell peppers and onions. And then I'm going to cut up the Roma tomatoes. And then I'm just going to cut those in half and then cut them in slices. And then I'm going to put these Roma tomatoes into the same pan I've been using, and I'm going to sear these for a couple of minutes. And while the tomatoes are searing, I'm going to pour in some beef broth into the Pyrex dish. I'm using the H-E-B beef broth. It is gluten-free. Swanson also has a gluten-free beef broth. I'm using 32 ounces of the beef broth. And then just pour that right into the Pyrex with the meat and vegetables. And I'm using the whole box of the beef broth. And then I'm going to add in some ketchup. I'm using the H-E-B ketchup. It is gluten-free. I'm just going to have 1 cup of ketchup. Just squirt the ketchup right into the measuring cup, and I'm going to measure out 1 cup of ketchup. And then I'm going to pour that ketchup right on top. And then I'm just going to take a spoon and gently stir that ketchup into the vegetables and mixing that up with the beef broth. And then once that ketchup is all mixed in good, then I'm going to take the tomatoes and I'm going to place those on top. This is now ready to go into the oven, and I'm going to place it into the oven, and we're going to cook this for about an hour at 350 degrees. And while that is cooking, I've washed and peeled some potatoes. I have them on high heat. I'm gonna boil them and make mashed potatoes. I've been letting this cook for about an hour and now it's ready to come out. And I've finished making the mashed potatoes, so we're gonna go ahead and start making plates for dinner. And this is how you make old-fashioned smothered steak. It's simple, budget-friendly, and it's guaranteed to make you feel at home no matter where you are. I've got the smothered steak, the mashed potatoes, and let's get the plates together. You can always make this with your favorite vegetables. My mother-in-law actually used to make this with celery in it, and she didn't put the mushrooms in it. So you can make this a variation of what other vegetables you would like to put into it. If you enjoyed cooking with me today, hit that like button and subscribe for more gluten-free recipes. Enjoy, dinner is served. Thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And let us know if you tried smothered steak. We'll see you next time in the kitchen.